Thing stinks. Really smelly. Alright, you guys, so I'm hanging out over here by Stinky. Stinky is our 1977 Dodge camper van. And I opened the doors because I've been checking periodically to see how bad it smells in here so that we can continue our work. Because we really don't want to be in here when it stinks. It's not too bad. I did get a whiff of some sort of weird chemical smell when I opened the doors just now. But it wasn't that bad. And I'm thinking, like, if I leave the doors open, it should be okay. So yeah, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update about it. We haven't started any work on it, and today is a really, really hot day for us. We have not had these temperatures yet this year. There's been a heat wave around California, and so today was a perfect day for me to let it just sit and bake in the sun and then see what it smelled like when I opened the doors. And it's actually not that bad. So that's very promising because if you guys have been watching all the saga about this van, you know that it's named Stinky for a good reason, because it was really, really bad. It reeked to high heaven. Yeah, I just don't even want to mess with it until I know that it's not going to smell bad anymore. But I'm going to talk to you about Stinky here for a minute and you know, get you guys' opinions on what you think we should start with first. Okay, so I've been standing here for a minute, you guys, and it really does reek. Okay, I think the heat, because it's like, I don't know, 90 degrees or more today, which isn't normal for us right now. We're used to like 80s up until like the end of June or something. But anyway, yeah, so this thing is off-gassing, and I think it's from the glue or whatever it is that they put in here, and then there's still some remnants or something, but it really reeks. So hence the Stinky name, but it's not as bad as it was. I have to give it that. So anyway, Ron has determined that this thing, it has a lot of potential, and because of the possibility of the new smog regulations in California, where we don't have to smog anything that's, you know, I don't know, any older than 30 years old or something like that. I don't know. I don't really understand all this stuff, but I do know that, like, this, under the current law, one of the reasons why we're not working on it is because under the current jurisdiction right now, or law, or whatever you want to call it, this vehicle has to pass smog because it is a 77. If it was a 75 or older, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. So eventually what's going to happen is, if they pass this new legislation, this vehicle will be exempt from smog. And so then we can do what we need to do to get it to run really good, because the law states in California that it has to pass their inspection and their smog with all of its original equipment. Okay. And for those of you who know anything about old cars, when stuff gets old, it doesn't work as good as it should. Even if you have somebody like Ron who can rebuild it, it still possibly will not pass smog. If anybody knows anything about carburetors, they know that they just are, I don't know, they're very inefficient and they pollute and all that kind of stuff. This thing has a carburetor and it's supposed to keep its carburetor, okay? If the new law passes, we could actually get a better carburetor for this thing that works, or maybe even a fuel injection system that would work a lot better, and make it go and do what it needs to do without having to worry about all the California rules and regulations. So that's why we're waiting. We don't want to do anything too fast. However, he knows even if he doesn't change any of the equipment on it, as long as he buys a few new parts and gaskets and hoses and things like that, this thing will go down the road. So we are going to possibly, here pretty soon, unless the weather doesn't hold up, unless it's just too yucky like it is today, we're going to start working on the body part. which is normally what I don't do in a van build. I always make sure that the drivetrain and all that kind of stuff is safe and sound first before I even start building it, because I have had friends that I known over the years who have built vans and made them beautiful, and then the thing blows up on them, or they just can't get it to run. They think, I'm going to do all this stuff first, get it all nice and pretty, and then I'll work on the mechanics. Well, they run out of money and then they can't do anything with it. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to try to do a balancing act. And, you know, I'm not going to document every little thing because that gets boring. I absolutely cannot stand those videos where they show every little teeny tiny thing in the van build, or they like speed it up so it's like, you know, like demon fast and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, sometimes it's okay, but after like, you know, 50,000 of those, you don't want them. So I'm going to be like, you know, documenting some of this stuff and showing you guys and like giving you the occasional tour like I have been doing, so that you can see that you know what's going on with it. And then when it's done, if it ever gets done, we'll do the whole official van tour so you guys can see like everything that's in it. Now, if for some reason we run out of money and we end up not getting it to go down the road or whatever, or if the California doesn't pass the good smog law or whatever, it doesn't matter. In this particular case, it won't be a loss. This will just end up being like an extra guest house or something like that on the property. It could just stay here as like a little tiny house for somebody to stay in, which is probably what it would end up being even if it ran. If people came over, it would be, you know, like, you know, grandma and grandpa have an extra RV in their driveway or whatever, and if there's not enough room in the house, then the grandkids get to sleep in it. It's kind of like that. So if we have guests that come over, they'll be able to have their own privacy and their own little space to sleep in. So that's why if it doesn't run for whatever reason, or if you know the California doesn't pass their laws, or if it doesn't matter, it'll be a nice little glamping spot for somebody to come stay in. So that's where we're at with this thing. Yeah, and I think it's a good potential for that. But yeah, I still am undecided about some stuff, so I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you guys that. Okay, so here's the big huge elephant in the room, and it's the windows. Now, I've done several videos on this channel about van windows, and you know my stance on them. If you've watched me, you know that I do not like too many windows in the van, but you know, this van was gifted to us. We didn't buy it like this. So we're just gonna have to deal with the hand that we are dealt. The thing is, I'm thinking, because this window right here, you see that rust spot right there? It is so leaky. If Ron and I could figure out a way to just get rid of that window, that would be good. Now, the one that's on the opposite side, I'm gonna take you off the tripod here. Sorry about the noise, because it probably made a big noise. But anyway, this window here, I think is one that we want to save. And I say that because it might actually help with visibility when you're backing out of someplace. So we don't want to delete that one. And it's, as you can see, it does have the rust spot as well, but it's not as big as the other one. And so I'm thinking that this window, even though we had to take it completely apart, you know, with all the stuff that goes around it, I think that whoever cut the hole for it did a better job on this side. And so it didn't leak as much. It didn't, you know, fail. So I'm thinking that if we delete this window here and we keep this one, I think that that would be advantageous for driving and for, you know, keeping the water out. Now this window here, now normally if I was building a van, I wouldn't want this window either, because you have this one as well. So I'm debating on whether or not to keep it, but you see where it leaks really bad on those two spots. So I might consider deleting that one too. However, that's most likely where our kitchen's gonna go, because that's usually, you know, where you put a kitchen in a van like this, or you put it, you know, here, or like I had in my van on the side where the side barn doors are. But because it has this nice window that opens, and you can vent while you're cooking, I may keep that one. And also we have this one up top, so that would be a good ventilation window as well. So I just have to think about it, because like if there's another advantage too, if we do delete this one, we can turn this into a wall and then essentially put more storage space for, you know, kitchen-y type items. We could even potentially put a cabinet there of some sort or something. I'm thinking along the lines of like a spice rack and like, you know, paper towel holder and things like that. And then up above it, you know, we could put like a small shelf, because we really don't want to block these windows because we already deleted the vent. We just have to put a nice trim around it because we want to keep the skylight part of it because it's really cool. And it's already sealed up and it's not going anywhere. So that's already deleted. So we do want to be able to have some ventilation up top. However, if you guys have watched my channel for any time, you know that my van did not have any vents, and I didn't have any of these nice slider windows in the back or pop outs. All of my windows were just like this one, which surprises me that these aren't pop outs, being that it's a camper van. The only thing I can think of is that maybe it's because of security, and they thought that it would be not as easy to break into. Which, you know, is an advantage. But yeah, I mean, a lot of your vans will have, see where these holes are? That's so that you could have the little latch that closes the window, and it could pop out. So it's pretty rare to see a camper van that doesn't have those. But I didn't have anything like that. I had nothing to open except for my doors themselves and my front windows. And by the way, I think we're going to have to probably get some louvers to put over these so that the rain doesn't get in, so we can keep the windows cracked. Right now it's not a big deal, you know, because we got to redo everything in there. But once it gets nice in there, we don't want to ruin what we did. So there's that. Other than that, I think we're, you know, unless we cannot get rid of the smell, we're going to try to keep these cabinets, but we got to get rid of that carpet. That carpet's gross, and it's just... yeah, it's just gross. I don't mind the color, believe it or not, because that's, you know, I like Kelly green. Because on the camera, this looks kind of more yellowy than it is, but it's actually kind of a nice Kelly green. But yeah, it's just stinky, which is unfortunate because this padded area right here is still in really good shape and it's really nice. I don't particularly like the color, but you know, it's just nice to have a nice head. You know, a head thing. I don't know what it's called. Headliner. I think it's called headliner. And there's like a really, really killer little shelf right up in here so that you could stash stuff up there too. So I think that part, I think we're going to keep that the same. The unfortunate part is like, because there's this like area here for tall people not to bump their heads. It just kind of like makes it so you don't have quite as much storage up there. So that being said, we'll probably take where the bunk used to be up here and turn that into some really killer storage up there. And then down here, we might have some storage under the bed area too. But yeah, so that's where we're at with this guy. And like I said, you know, even if something happens and we don't get it on the road for whatever reason, it's going to be a really, really nifty guest house for somebody. So, yeah, so that's why I made the exception with this van, to just go ahead and just do all the other interior work before getting it mechanically sound. Plus, you guys, you know, like this thing. It's really cute, and I think you enjoy seeing it. I'm going to show you guys the front, so I haven't showed it in a long time. It's kind of dirty. I'm going to have to come out here, I guess, and hose it off. Luckily, we have a hose right here. So, but yeah, see? And that's the thing, too. We got to replace the windshield because it's pretty cracked and stuff. And that's illegal and also not very safe. And I'm wondering, because it looks like it has more cracks in it than it did when we parked it here. It's probably from acorns. They just fall down on it all the time. But yeah, so there it is on the side. So it's still like I showed it before. You know, this cute little camper van that everybody likes. It's a classic, you know. And no matter what happens, I hopefully will get at least get some good used tires for the thing. Like if we know it's not going to go anywhere, then we should probably put some better tires on it, because those will eventually pop. And the thing's got the original propane tank. Now, for those of you that don't know, RV propane tanks are forever. Now, some people probably think that's okay, but I'm not so sure if that's a good thing. And what I mean by forever is you don't ever have to have them certified again. Once they're there, that's it. I don't think I would trust that thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Ron about that too. But just for you Dodge nerds, there you go. A nice little picture of the badge. And yeah, our dirty van that's been sitting out here all winter. And yeah, so we'll do something with it. All right, you guys, so that's where we're at with Stinky the van. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should we delete the windows that I talked about? In particular, the one in the middle, the big one right there. Should we keep that one or should we delete it? Because I'm pretty sure the one that's in the back that I showed you, the first one I showed you guys, that one right there, if I can point at it, that one right there, I definitely am going to try to figure out how to get rid of. The other two, I'm not so sure. Well, yeah, the one on the passenger side, I think we should keep. But as far as the big long one, I'm not so sure about. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. The other van that we drive, the Ford, it has the big window over where I cook, and it helps a little bit. But it's just a pop-out window. It's not a slider, so you don't get that much air coming through. So it kind of helps a little. But yeah, I don't know if it's worth like taking, you know, taking up that area for a window when I could be insulating that wall and putting up, you know, shelving and things like that. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, that's Stinky the van. So haven't done anything, just been kind of waiting, trying to figure out what we want to do. And I think we've kind of decided that we're gonna end up starting something. I don't know, but I will keep you guys posted on it like I promised. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got something out of this. And yeah, again, let me know in the comments what you think about the windows. You know me, I'm just kind of mostly anti-window in a van. So yeah, so anyway, all right, we'll see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. All right, bye. Man, this thing stinks. Really smelly.